Important note, this video is not financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decision. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Here's your market briefing from Rumour With AI. Corporate treasury strategies are undergoing a seismic shift as MicroStrategy liquidates 32 Bitcoin to fund shareholder dividends. This move signals a calculated pivot in liquidity management, balancing aggressive accumulation with immediate cash flow needs. While the firm maintains its long-term bullish stance on digital assets, the decision highlights the growing pressure on corporate balance sheets to generate tangible returns. Meanwhile, geopolitical tensions are reshaping global trade architectures. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney indicates that the Trump administration prefers bilateral negotiations over a congressional vote to preserve the North American free trade framework. This diplomatic maneuvering aims to avoid legislative gridlock, suggesting that Washington seeks flexibility in tariff enforcement without the constraints of formal treaty ratification. On the macro front, Japan faces a profound economic security dilemma. The nation's 250% GDP debt ratio, combined with a persistently weak yen, severely constrains its strategic autonomy. Tokyo is increasingly forced to rely on China for economic stability, despite its formal alliance with the United States. This paradox underscores the fragility of the current monetary order and the limits of political loyalty when fiscal survival is at stake. Energy markets are also reacting to heightened geopolitical risks. The U.S. military is now escorting 7 million barrels per day of oil from the Persian Gulf. This unprecedented deployment responds to deepening strategic ties among Russia, China, and Iran amid escalating sanctions. The move underscores Washington's determination to secure critical energy flows, even as traditional alliances fracture under the weight of geopolitical realignment. In related news, the battle for yield is intensifying within the digital asset space. Analyst John O'Connor argues that $315 billion in stablecoins represents idle cash currently sitting outside the traditional banking system. With Bitcoin trading at $63,950, the competition for yield-bearing digital dollars is threatening the deposit base of conventional banks. This migration of capital poses a systemic risk to traditional financial intermediaries that rely on low-cost funding. Looking ahead to today's release, the absence of major high-impact economic calendar events leaves markets to digest these structural shifts. Without fresh data to drive volatility, investors are focusing on the interplay between corporate treasury adjustments, geopolitical trade negotiations, and the evolving dynamics of digital liquidity. The market is effectively pricing in a world where traditional financial boundaries are blurring, and geopolitical alliances are becoming increasingly transactional. That's your market briefing. Follow Rumour With AI for daily market intelligence.